What's up everybody? Eduardo Talbert here with monstertutorials.com. This tutorial is not really a tutorial, but it's something that I made that I needed. So the story is, I thought it was pretty hypocritical that I tell you guys to wear gloves, face protection, ventilated areas, and all that stuff. I also make my kids wear a helmet when they ride the bike. But I've been also shooting a daily vlog in Instagram in the stories part, which I'll show you a picture right here. And I'm learning to ride a skateboard. I'm learning tricks and I'm just learning now. I thought it was the right thing to do to wear a helmet. But this is Monster Tutorials and we don't just do helmets. So we're going to do a Monster Tutorials style helmet. So I found my old motorcycle helmet and we embellished it, and here it is. This is what we're going to be making today. It's a chicken helmet. So now I can do all my skateboard tricks in style, and if I bonk my head, I'll be alright. So let's get started with this tutorial. Hey everybody, here we are at the studio. So for today's tutorial we're going to need a helmet. That's the first thing we need. It'll go right here. This helmet is the one I used to use when I used to ride motorcycles. Then I just stopped riding motorcycles. I sold my motorcycle and I put this in the garage and let the kids play with it, and they've been using it, and I have reclaimed it for this tutorial. So we need a helmet and a bird skeleton, basically. Now to add the pieces to the helmet and for it to withstand like the wind and the use and everything, we're going to use really good glue. So we're going to use this JB Weld. It says it's the world's strongest bond. So that's what we're using instead of a hot glue, because I want the pieces to stay on the helmet as I use it every day. Now if I get into an accident, not even this glue will stop the pieces from flying off. But for regular use, this will hold everything in place. And to decorate our chicken, because this one is going to be a chicken and not a crow, right? So chicken, so we need a white feather boa. We are only going to use about 20 or 30 feathers out of here. For the eyes, we need 2 beads like we did with the crow, like that. It's just a broken necklace, which I have painted white. You can also use 2 pearls, about that size. This will be the eyes of the chicken. Now for the crown of the chicken, right here, and for the wattle, and for maybe a tongue, I'm not sure about the tongue yet, I found these are stickers that I have in my kids' craft thing. They're like foam. See how thick? That's like a Santa Claus. And there are some hearts. Look how thick those are. I was thinking of using that for the crown and the wattle and the tongue. So some stickers. And I got my glue gun, but not to glue stuff, but instead to fill around the eye once we glue the eye, so it looks like a little flesh. First step, you gotta cut this guy up. So my vision is to have the neck and the head, the wings, the tail, see it, and the 2 legs. That's all I want sticking out of the helmet. So this rib cage and this spine, I'm just going to save it. Maybe put it in a creepy jar, corpse it, add some blood, and it'll look nice and cool in my butcher scene. So let's start cutting this guy. All right, the wings are pretty easy. Those just pop right off. That's it. Now for the neck, tail, and legs, I'm gonna have to do some cutting. Okay, so the plan is the head is going to go right in the middle over here. The tail will be sticking out the back, so it can be seen from the front like that. Then the wings will be here on the top and over here. And the legs will be just sticking out right down here on the sides. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing the glue, and I'm going to start gluing the pieces onto the helmet. I'll mix them real well. Okay, so the glue is pretty slimy, it's not thick. So what I did is, after I glued them, I held them in place with a little bit of masking tape, and it takes about 15-20 minutes, but I would wait a little bit longer. But for example, this tail is already solid in there, as you can see, right? And the head is too. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to add the wings somewhere around here. See that? And the legs probably sticking out somewhere out here. And then we're going to start decorating our chicken. Alright, so this is taking shape now. I'm going to remove this tape, because all this glue is nice and cured. I let it sit overnight. That's why I'm wearing different clothes now. So I'm going to take all these supports, and this should be pretty solid. So we can start kind of like corpsing it with the feathers and putting the eyes and everything. Starting to look like a flying chicken, huh? And with this leftover rib cage and spine, you can split it up and make a little baby face hugger. Alright, I'm going to do the eyes now. For that, I'm just going to take some of this industrial glue and the 2 beads that I painted white, so they look like eyeballs. I'm just going to glue them right there. Putting it right in the eye socket. And just going to press the eye there. There you go. I'm going to let this dry. While those eyes dry, I'm going to take this heart. I'm going to fold it in half because it's sticky on the back, so I want it to stick onto itself. And we're going to do that crown, or that comb that goes on the head of a chicken. I'm going to cut that out. So there you go. Now I'm just going to take some red enamel and paint the whole thing red, but I'm not going to paint the bottom because that's what I'm going to use to glue it on top of the head. I am going to do the same with this for the wattle that goes under the chicken's beak. The crazy eyes are now glued. They're mostly set. So I'm going to take this Sharpie and just draw a little pupil on each one. And I'm going to do this while the comb and the little wattles for the bottom of the mouth dry. Crazy chicken. Let's start tearing this up. And like we did with our little crow friend here, I'm just going to take individual feathers, right, and just break them off. Then if it's too long, I'm gonna cut them. But for the tail and the tail feathers, I want them to be pretty long. And I'm going to be using that industrial glue, just putting a little bit on the end, at the end of the feather, and just lay it there. It takes about 15 minutes to set, so then I'll jump to another feather in a different area, and I'll just go around rotating. So these feathers on this left wing and these on the tail are drying. So while that happens, let's address the head. So here's the comb, which is going to go right there. So all I'm going to do is glue it on top with some of that industrial glue. I also made 2 wattle pieces, which I'm going to test fit here to see if they fit. If they don't fit, I'm just going to skip the whole wattle thing. Our chicken helmet is pretty much done, except for the tiny little details, which is the parts where the wings and the neck and everything joins the helmet. And in that case, I'm just going to take this and paint it right there so it looks like a little bit of flesh. And fortunately also the glue color is kind of like a tan bony color, so it looks like fat or grizzle, so it looks okay. So I'm going to go around the neck, around the wings and the tail and the feet, and splatter some blood around it, and I think we should be done. Alright, so there you go. Check it out. If you want to see this in action, go to my Instagram account and follow me. On my stories, I have daily vlogs in which I try to skateboard every day. So I'll be using this guy here, and I'll be using it in my Florida vlogs. So if you think this is cool, even if it's useless, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to share it. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.